Other than that, I can't think of too much else to say, and I see on my timer I'm getting kind of close here. So, yeah.
Hey, welcome to a Thursday Collection Connection, where we're playing that game. It's just an excuse to talk about records. Play the game with my brother, Plastic Eric, from the Plastic Soundwave Cult channel, and you can play along and follow along by subscribing to both channels. In Eric's last video, he showed the Specials Singles Collection. I had that collection along with their first album. Some solid, great ska music, and in keeping with the spirit of the thing, just going to kind of power through to the connection this time out, because I usually try to come up with something offbeat, something that'll make the connections wildly different. So you'll say, hey, what connects those two albums? But this time, for whatever reason, I decided to do something that was almost twinsies. So the Specials were, of course, part of the ska revival out of England at the end of the 70s, beginning of the 80s. Bands like the Specials, Selector, English Beat, Madness, a lot of stuff that, beyond the madness, honestly, if I'm truthful, we were in England when these songs were coming out, and maybe I wasn't quite ready for them yet. For some reason, I have a memory of not loving, like, Ghost Town, as classic a single as that is, and as good as it is. I feel like I'd be telling stories if I didn't say that that was the kind of song that used to bug me when I was a kid. I know it took coming back to the States to appreciate a lot of what was at the top of the charts in England while we were in England. Coming back here and then having more sort of corporate rock, more REO Speedwagon and Foreigner and stuff like that being at the top of the charts really made you appreciate a place where bands like the Specials and Adamant and those guys were actually scoring big hits. Anyway, for a connection, I decided to go with another ska band that is a large band. You could name probably half a dozen things that it has in common with the Specials. Large band, 8 members, 9 members, a biracial band makeup, as a lot of the ska revival bands were. And also thought there's a trombonist in the band as a band member. But yeah, the main difference here is that this is a band from America. And following the kind of the British explosion of ska, mini explosion, I don't know how you would term it these days, they inspired a small movement in the US that never really got above the underground, but they had followers like Fishbone, and also out of Southern California, the Untouchables with Wild Child from 1985. So yeah, rather than trying to do something wacky like connect Gustav Holst to Sheryl Crow, I guess the novelty of this is that you could hardly come up with a more similar act other than the fact that they're from different countries. And the Untouchables even had to go to the UK for a couple of years to really sort of hone their sound and make their first record. I think this was the only one really of any significance. It's got some great covers. It's in the footsteps of the giants of ska, in that contains a couple of covers and some originals. Even the band names, the Untouchables and the Specials, are practically synonyms for each other. But it's some great American ska music. You can rock out. I Spy for the FBI was the first song that I was aware of from the Untouchables. I became aware of that song and I think Lioness Bitch from Fishbone at about the same time. But in addition to that cover, I forget who does the original. With a lot of these, I think that they do the covers that are sort of the giants in their genre that they love and respect, but people don't really necessarily know in the general public, so they weren't like huge hits to the masses, to the hoi polloi. And then they'll do a weird one, like on here they do a cover of I'm Not Your Stepping Stone, Just great ska music. Should be a good listen, a fun listen, coming hot on the heels of the specials. I really love the title track. Wild Child is great. Free Yourself is a classic. Sounds like it could have come out of the British ska revival. And yeah, it wasn't really in the US until the 90s that ska really took a foothold into the charts and made a big impression, and a lot of bands kind of made it big on that sound. This was just part of a mini boom in the mid-80s, bands directly inspired by the British bands that I mentioned earlier and their ilk. And yeah, kind of forgotten. So you may not even know the Untouchables, but if you like that ska sound, I certainly recommend it. It's a fun record. It's enjoyable. I'll show it again. I've been mightily distracted by the fact that the camera keeps making these focusing sounds and drive me a little crazy. So I'm not sure how long this video is going to be, because I've had to stop so many times to let the camera click away. So anyway, I'll throw this over. The Untouchables, Wild Child, from 1985. Over to Eric, and you can look for his response on Monday on his channel, The Plastic Soundwave Cult. The Connection again, albums, almost twinsies. Large, multicultural ska band with a trombonist. Kind of a horn section in general, but I went for the fact that they both have trombonists in them, because it gives me a chance to say trombonist a few times, which gives me a tromboner. No. No. That's shameful. So anyway, try and cue that up, give that a listen. I hope Eric enjoys it, if he's unfamiliar with it. And for everyone else, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.